We are doing something a little bit different today. This isn't going to be our ice bath video, but I am going to bring you guys with me while we clean our ice bath today, and I'm kind of going to show you guys the process. So here goes nothing. Alright, so you guys can probably see that we already have the I already have my water out hose disconnected, and it actually just finished pumping all the water out. So now that we got all this water pumped out, the next step is obviously turning our pump off. I'm going to disconnect the other hose just so we can get all of the water completely out of the system, all that like nasty, dirty water. And then I'm going to hop in there with some dish soap and start scrubbing away. So let's get to it. The pump doesn't always get all the water out, and I don't have a sump, so the probably 20 gallons that's left in here, I always have to dump the rest of it out. I have to do this about once every about month or two. It just kind of depends how fast the water gets dirty. But the reason that I have to do it so frequently versus the probably 5 to 6 months that most people get on newer ice bath and chiller units is because mine doesn't really have any sort of filtration. We have like a small micron filter that just catches like hair and like larger debris and stuff like that. But since I don't have like a big filtration system or anything, or ozone, none of that, I usually have to clean this about once a month. And if you guys can see in there, you can see why. And it usually, once it gets dirty like this, it builds up this algae. Probably, obviously it's over time, but the algae starts to really become visible after about a couple days once it's really set in. So once I start noticing like the significant cloudiness in the water, and I notice the water starting to get pretty dirty, that's when I know that it's time to clean this thing. And this stuff right here is mainly what I use to clean my cold plunge. I have a separate sponge that I use just for the cold plunge, and then I just fill this bad boy up with dish soap, which is also completely separate. It's only used for the cold plunge. I do go in with like some Lysol and stuff like that. Since it's a disinfectant, it gets rid of all the germs. I try not to go too heavy on it just because this is an inflatable tub. It already has kind of a small, slow, steady leak in it that I can't find. So I don't want the chemicals to dilute down any more of the stitching than what's probably already gone. Again, I just use a bare minimum amount just so I can kill off like all that like bacteria and everything else. So let's get to scrubbing, y'all. Look how much cleaner that is already. Dish soap and a scrub brush, y'all. Yeah. Now I am going to clean the outside, and I'm really hoping that it doesn't wash your guys' names off, but we'll see how it goes. Alright, so now that that's all done, everything's all clean. I was actually really worried about your guys' names, so I'm super glad that those didn't come off. But now that everything's clean inside and out, we just have to hook the chiller back up. What I usually do is once it gets full enough, I try to cycle some clean water through there, and then I dump it out just so I can kind of kick out the rest of the gross water that's probably still sitting in the chiller. So I'm gonna fill this tub up a little bit, try to pump some water through the chiller, clean everything the rest of the way out, dump her again, and then completely fill her back up, and we'll be good to go. I can never get my hose to sit still, so I always use this rock to hold it down in there. All right, now we just have to wait for her to fill up. I'll do one more like kind of small cleaning cycle with it, get all the rest of the crap out of it, fill her back up, and we're gonna be good to go for day 57. See you guys later. All right, y'all, for those of you that stuck around this long, thank you so much. I just wanted to show you guys the night and day difference. I wish I would have recorded the clarity of the water before I pumped everything out, but this is our water now. Completely clear. We do have a little bit of stuff on the bottom just because of my rock that holds my hose down, but yeah, if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave me comments down below. I'll answer any comments as quickly and efficiently as possible, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Stay tuned for our ice bath this evening.